looks cool when it's all beat up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
This knife freaking rocks. I wouldn't do this with any other folding knife. Triad can take it though. It's a special lock. This is my fancy graphics intro. Hope you like it. That's what you get when you click on an old school knife review video here in the Nutnfancy project. The soothing blue of the TMP reviewing table. No technical graphics, no music, none of that. Just this. I learned a long time ago, no one cares about that crap anyhow, so I just get to the review. And a little bit of foundation, which I think you'll like. Goes something like this. This video you're getting ready to watch is like all my other videos. It is mostly based on my opinion. An imperfect opinion, but one that is based on a lot of experience, a fair amount of logic, and a lot of failure, to be honest. That's what I bring to the reviewing table, and that's why guys tune in to the Nutnfancy project. Gun reviews, knife reviews, gear reviews. It is a data point you can trust for a lot of reasons, but again, it is a pure opinion that cannot be coerced. It cannot be bought. And many try. Did I ever tell you that? Well, I'm telling you now. A lot try. A lot of the manufacturers try, bribing me with this, bribing me with that. Can you do this? Can you do that? And I'm like, no, 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 no. Thank you very much, but no. Purely independent, the Nutnfancy project. That's how it works. Year after year, it just keeps on trucking, doing stuff like that. I can say good stuff, bad stuff, mediocre stuff about the item. I don't have to worry about it. It just works. I think it's a data point you can trust. And in this video, we're going to talk about what I believe are outstanding tactical blades. Speaking of my opinion, and based on years of folding knife use and systems integration, personally, duty use in the military. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, failures and lots of video game play. I'm just kidding. I just added that last part. Just kidding. So, in my opinion, this is still one of my all-time favorite styles of tactical blades. What? Seriously. You were looking at, speaking of old school, the previous version of the Cold Steel Voyager XL in Tanto. And I love it. For its size and its ultimate lightweight, it is matched by few other blades. At least factory blades that I've seen. Now some guys may be surprised I love this knife so much. One, it's a Tanto tip. You guys know I like, I don't know, clip blade, Bowie style knives. I do, but I like some Tantos too. But this is the older version and it lacks many of the improvements found in the current Cold Steel Voyager line. Kind of like the Triad lock, which this knife does not have. Doesn't have the G10, has textured FRN. Doesn't have the stainless steel liners. Doesn't have the swappable clips, right? Doesn't have a lot of the stuff the new knife has, but it has this, an incredible amount of reach. I think this is a 5.5-inch blade, and the knife only weighs about 4.8 ounces, if I remember correctly. I didn't write it down. Yeah, it's a favorite tactical blade. I'm never getting rid of this. And a lot of you guys have seen me with this when we do gear checks. Meeting you at the trade shows, gun shops, wherever, a restaurant. We talk, and this knife has been on me. And some guys were surprised that I carry it. They're like, whoa, I didn't know you liked Tanto. I didn't know you liked the old Voyager. And I'm like, love this knife. Wicked fast, big reach, and it's super lightweight. That means it's carried when I need it the most. Look how thin that is. Now, once upon a time, I was kind of, I don't know, lackluster on the improvements to the Voyager lineup because I like this one so much. Oh, and there's another thing it lacks. You can't take the handle apart. It's pinned. Pivot is pinned. Big downsides, right? Not in my experience. They've been fabulous, and I have several models of this knife in various sizes. They've all just worn so well. But when the new Voyagers came out, again, I wasn't like super stoked on them. I was like, I don't know, man. A little bit heavier. They got stainless steel liners on them, different shape. And then I started using them. Project bought several of them. We started using them, abusing them, truth be told. Fell in love. I reviewed the Voyagers, I think, the new models in November 2011. I think. Something like that. So that video has been out there for a while. I've been recommending them, selling, I think, a lot to TMPers because it's such a great knife. It is heavier than the old school one, for sure. But not by a lot, and it adds some torsional rigidity that some dudes really like, right? This knife isn't really about this size, that size. It's about this size and bigger. Because we're talking about tactical blades, and this might be a good reminder, this whole video, about what really excites me in the tactical blade genre. Mainly size, weight, and reach. Oh yeah, and traction. They got to have all that. You know, some folks, and again, this is why I kind of introed with my opinion, will say this is a great tactical blade, the small one. Okay, and by way of reference, this is a Voyager 3-inch at 3.1 ounces. This is a Voyager 4-inch at 4.6 ounces. AUS 8/8 steel, all of them. We've just abused this one a lot. It's wearing a Wicked Edge, by the way. EPA put that on there. And then this big mamma jamma, and this is really what the video is about. Check this. And I don't think I've shown it on camera before because we hadn't purchased one yet. Oh, sick. Oh, wait, I screwed up. That's the Recon. We'll get to that one here in a second because I'm going to show you more than one line. Here we go. Voyager. 5.5 inch. Now that is a freaking tactical blade. Okay, hang on, Recon 1. We'll get to you here in just a second. Now, I've reviewed a lot of big cold steel knives. And in those videos, I said cold steel really is one of the few, if not the only, manufacturer at a reasonable price point that is putting together these very large knives. In the Talwar video, which by the way is right here, look at this big mamma jamma. Remember this knife? That's what I said. I said a lot of knife companies just don't have the guts to put a knife together like this. They think it's stupid, it's dumb. I disagree. I think the reach of these pocket swords are incredible. You're talking about an emergency defensive tool. That's the focus of this video. We're not talking EDC, utility. We're talking about a tactical blade, the cold steel, large tactical blades. Talwar, I've already shown you, so I'm not going to concentrate more on that one. Love this knife. 10 out of 10, no doubt. I think that if you are to withdraw your knife from said pocket and try to defend yourself with it, wouldn't it be better that you would never have to use it? What is going to scare a bad guy more? We're talking philosophy here. That I come out of pocket and I go, hey dude, check this. Better back off. Okay? He might laugh. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't have capability. We're just talking about intimidation factor, nothing more. Okay? Or I take this freaking huge 5.5 inch Voyager out, 7.4 ounces by the way, which is a reasonable weight for the strength and size of a blade, and you hear that thwack it comes out with. What would you do? I'd say, have a nice day, sir. Take care. Any reasonable person would, but honestly, are these really reasonable people you're dealing with if you have to resort to extracting a blade and deploying it? Obviously not. This knife freaking rocks. And I have just as much enthusiasm about the large Voyager 5.5. Again, only 7.4 ounces for a huge blade, also stainless steel line, swappable clip, as I do this. Which one do you carry more, Nutton? If you were to ask, and I know guys will. Honestly, about the same. Now, that may surprise guys because they know I watch the micro ounces with all the stuff I integrate into my EDC system. There's videos out on that. But I carry them equally. I carry this one a lot. It's awesome. And it disappears in pocket very well. The only thing really protruding will be this portion right here. I wish it actually had a higher pocket clip up here. It would be nicer. But I think most guys will like that they can grab it. See, you almost have kind of a pistol grip on the Voyager XL. You can extract it. You can integrate a lanyard in the handle right here. So, you know, take it or leave it. It just depends. Let's compare that with the smaller ones. You can see there's going to be a lot less showing out of these ones. God, the Voyager are just such great knives. Great knives. So, again, I say my opinion's always evolving. I have to be presented with credible data and credible experience for me to change what I think is a pretty consistent opinion, whether I'm applying it to a knife, a concealed carry pistol, an SPR, whatever. I think you guys have seen that over the years. It's very consistent and logical, foundational. But I was wrong on these knives. And by using them, I saw that they were everything Cold Steel said they were. They're outstanding. I know some guys never warmed up to them because they love this version so much. I get that. And I think these are still at a premium on the secondary market. But look at that XL. Oh, dude. Stonewash finish, flat ground, razor sharp out of box. Great deployment thumb studs. It's a good lefty knife. You can swap the pocket clip left and right. Comes out readily. It's got that really awesome triad lock. Big old stop pin which absorbs all the impact forces. Self-wearing. Solid deploying. Let's check the speed again. Oh, dude. Freaking I got to tell you guys this real quick, okay? I'm in the grocery store yesterday. Okay, I'm not making this up. Dead serious. And dude, I wish I knew your name. Hello from the Nutnfancy Project. A TMPer who worked at that grocery store came up to me and goes, "You're Nutnfancy." I was like, "Hey dude, what's going on?" And we started to visit. He's a big TMP knife guy. We discussed knives. He loves the KRVs I do here. I love you guys back because without your watching the videos, I quit making them. He was awesome though. We talked about this knife, that knife, and he goes, "Hey dude, check this out. Yesterday, I'm working in the produce department." That's where he's working. He said, "I saw a flash of a knife out of a dude's pocket, and I think I have the very knife he's talking about." And I noticed he was carrying a knife, and he saw a flash. Can you guess what it is? He walks up to the guy and goes, "Hey dude, is that an Espada?" He goes, "Yeah, it is. Good call. How'd you know?" He goes, his next question, not making any of this up, it's all true. You might even see him in comments. He goes, "Are you a TMPer?" He goes, "Absolutely." True story. So two TMPers bonding by the watermelons, apparently, over a Cold Steel Espada, which is a freaking nasty tactical blade. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh. And I just reviewed not too long ago the Cold Steel Espada G10s. There's a better deployment. Beautiful knife. Beautiful knife. Yeah, so knife guys, especially TMPers, you know what to look for. You see this protruding from the pocket. The guy's, he's packing a serious blade. Respect. If we talk about philosophy of use of a large knife like this, we've been concentrating on the serious aspect of it, and that is an emergency defensive tool, right? You got the reach, the intimidation of a very large blade. I say absolutely. I will take this any day over these smaller blades in a tactical philosophy of use. I've said that in all my reviews. Like, you know, I think on this one I said, you might be able to get away with it. I mean, it will still cut, not a lot of reach. This one you could. In a lot of people's minds, this 4-inch version is actually the ideal tactical blade. And there's a lot of Marshall blade craft where they like a smaller blade for their, you know, their maneuvers they're doing. I'll never be a knife fighter. I just don't have the time. Don't have the desire, to be honest. I don't. To me, you know, I need reach and intimidation. And to be able to hang on to the freaking blade so it's not taken from me. The Voyager definitely offers that. Sick. Love these knives. 10. All these knives are 10s, dude. Now we're going to go on to another large knife. You already saw it. I screwed up and already showed it to you. But let's review the Recon 1. Here comes, I think, the 3-inch version, right? I reviewed that. The Recons were reviewed in September 2010 here in TMP. Here comes another one I've backpacked with. This one, it's not a spear point, yeah. Great little blade, AUS 8A. Here comes a heavily thumped on Tanto 4-inch. This is 5.3 ounces, this one. And this actually, like I said, a lot of people's minds, and I think it's still a great tactical blade, don't get me wrong. The 4-inch blade. It's almost a good balance. So I can EDC with this. I can do a utility carry with it. All the stuff we've talked about for years here in the videos and in comments and in person here in the Nutnfancy Project. It's a great knife. But when I want ultimate intimidation, dude. Oh, by the way, here's a clip version. Oh, it's a smorgasbord of Cold Steel. In a recent video, I just talked about how Cold Steel, I mean, they just don't rest. They're constantly doing these very cool and purposeful, you know, combat blades. EDC and combat blades. Who else does that? Hardly anybody. And then, of course, here comes the XL. Oh, schwack. 10 out of 10, baby. 5.5-inch blade. So it's going to be the same. Let's compare it. The same as that Tanto XL. So you can see the length the same. But look at how much broader the Recon 1 is for the shearing potential. It's a clip blade, right? Unsharpened swedge on top. Nice tip. Just like we talked about in the review on these other knives. But the blade is just massive. And there are a lot of improvements on this Recon 1, for that matter, the Voyager XL, over this knife. And I've mentioned them already, but as a review, triad lock, right? Super strong, very grippy G10, transferable pocket clip.
This knife freaking raw.
You can take the scales off, adjustable pivot point, and you have your choice of blade finishes, although you can see I've pretty much thumped on this one. And by the way, when I said I thumped on this one, I mean it. I took this one out and batoned the hell out of it. I do that every so often, just for fun, and also for data, to see if my opinion is correct. There's that word again. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe something's changed. Maybe there's been some quality issues at Cold Steel I don't know about. So time to go out and take a knife and put it through a freaking log. By the way, this is the only folding knife I ever feel comfortable enough to do that with. The triad lock is what I'm talking about. Not just the Recon, but the Voyager. They will take the abuse. They will loosen up a little bit in the pivot point, but you can tighten them right up. So I pounded this one through, as you're seeing, I don't know when I roll it in, several logs, sticks, and actually took it through a knot. And I think it was this one I bent the metal on it, the blade. See that? Let me get the Cold Steel catalog to focus. There's a warp in the blade there. Hey, Nutnfancy, does that suck? And does that disappoint you? Maybe you might ask. Absolutely not. I mean, this is above and beyond what I think this blade should be able to take. And when I went through that knot, I knew I was asking a lot for that thin profile to take that abuse. And it did, but it warped a little bit. No big deal. You can see I took it on the Edge Pro Apex and put a 1,000, I think actually I took this to 2,000 polish on it, and I actually backed up that relief edge just a little bit, and this sucker is insanely sharp again, and it looks even better having that wear on it, the Recon 1. I love it. Now you might ask, hey, I don't like that black finish wearing off on my knives. I've said in a lot of reviews, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. You know, I've done a lot of DLC reviews, you know, Diamond Light Carbon on a lot of blades. Those are great too. I can take either one. I really don't have a huge preference of it. But this large size knife, the large size Voyager, oh my gosh. These things are sick, man. Especially for the money you pay for these. Upper right is my recommended retailers for these knives. They're just sick. For the money, good luck. Yeah, trying to find them anywhere else. By the way, here comes the Espada again. Bad deployment. And then I think I showed you the freaking pocket sword Espada. That was in July 13. Look at that sucker. Now this is funny to show this because it's so impressive. And I don't know if I really hit on that philosophy of use enough, where you just carry a big knife to impress your friends. That was kind of the point of that story, that the other TMPer was impressed that the other guy had an Espada. It's like, that's a freaking nice knife. You know, it's just kind of a cool thing. Will you ever use it? Probably, and hopefully never. But guys like it, and it's cool, and it turns them on, right? This might be a little bit too big. Yes, there is such a thing. Glad you asked. Because, you know, I was talking about, you know, where is it? Baby bear. Oh, where's Mama Bear? Here's Mama Bear. And then Daddy Bear is right here, right? I'd go with Daddy Bear. Not Gargantuan Bear in most situations. Your mileage may differ, like I've said forever. Now, if you want to know more about the specifics, you know, the materials of all these knives, to include the Espada, the Voyager, the Recon, go look up the original videos. It's all out there. This is really about these larger tactical blades. And they are phenomenal. Very strong with a triad lock. It's a good steel, the ASA 8A. They come very wicked sharp out of box. They have excellent traction. This one has G10, FRN, G10, deep choils, dual thumb studs. They deploy quick. This has a dual thumb plate on it. Kind of throwing this spot in. Dual thumb studs here, which by the way are removable again for sharpening. Very important point. Good job, Cold Steel. Home run. Total home run. I love them, these knives. Thanks for watching.